Good evening, teachers. It is time now to begin the Language Teacher Supervision Professional Development Program for Dominican School Supervisors. This is a program sponsored by INAFOCAM, Instituto Nacional de Formación y Capacitación del Magisterio, our National Teacher Training Institute. And this Language Teacher Supervision Program is basically for Dominican public school supervisors. I am Professor Juan Valdez, and with me is Dr. Laura Baecher from Hunter College, the City University of New York. We are going to be your trainings throughout this program. The program will last from January to August 2022. Classes will be on Mondays and Wednesdays from 6 to 7:30 p.m. All the language teacher supervisors nationwide from the Ministry of Education are invited to participate in this program. And I would like to proceed and start right away because we have a lot to work on this evening. Now, this program implies a shift in language teacher supervision in Dominican public schools. We all know that for over 60 years, English has been part of the national curriculum, and there's very little learning of the English language in Dominican public schools. One very important aspect of this issue regards language teacher supervision. For that matter, I would also like to quote Albert Einstein saying that insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. If we want different results in Dominican public schools in terms of teaching and learning English, we have to do things differently. That's why I would like to explain you now the main objectives of this program, and why I have said that we need a shift in language teacher supervision in Dominican public schools. Doing the same thing over and over again will not lead us anywhere. So we have to make a difference. We have to make a shift. But a shift from what to what? Well, basically, we have to make a shift from snoopervision to real supervision. The job of a supervisor is not to go to schools trying to impose rules or put pressure on teachers. That's why most teachers worldwide refer to supervision as snoopervision. They feel that their supervisors are just snooping around, trying to find fault in teachers. So we have to change that mentality. We have to change that perception so that teachers understand that our job is basically supervision and not snoopervision. Another important shift is that of auditing to supporting teachers. What we will learn in this program is that our job is not auditing what teachers do. It's basically supporting what they do. Remember, on the inauguration of this program, I showed you a video from Bill Gates entitled "The Support Teachers Need." The job of a language teacher supervisor is mostly providing support and not very much auditing what teachers actually are meant to do and don't do. We also have to change the culture when we work with teachers. Move from controlling to motivating teachers. The shift from teacher control to teacher motivation. Another important shift is the vision of teachers and supervisors, the interaction, the social relationship between teachers and supervisors. And we have to change the view of teachers from subordinates to colleagues. Teachers are not our subordinates. They are our colleagues. And this is a very important point of view in this country because, unfortunately, the Dominican Republic had 3 dictatorships in the last century. And there's a lot of this mentality of imposing and arbitrary actions. We supervisors, cannot see our teachers, the people that we supervise as subordinates. We have to see them as our colleagues. And that's a very important relationship we have to establish. Another shift we have to move from to is that from closed protocols to flexible approaches based on teachers' needs. Sometimes, especially in our country, because there is a national supervision framework, the instruments and the protocols that we use when supervising teachers do not pertain to the area of English language teaching and learning. So we have to be flexible and use approaches that are based on our teachers' needs and not on a fixed, closed protocol. Another shift is that from analog to hybrid language teacher supervision tools. As I stated before, in this program, we will develop a digital supervision tool that English language teachers and supervisors will benefit from. We cannot continue to work only on paper in the digital era. So what we're doing now is trying to develop digital tools or hybrid tools that you can use both in paper and digitally. Another shift that this course aims to achieve is that from a general to a standards-based language teacher supervision system. Again, the Dominican framework for supervision is based on general subjects. It does not pertain to the area of foreign languages. And there are no standards specified in the supervision tools used in Dominican public schools, at least not standards that pertain to the area. So what this program is also going to develop is a standards-based language teacher supervision system. Finally, we have to move from a nominal role to a developmental role in language teacher supervision. This, in general, is what we envision as a shift in language teacher supervision in Dominican public schools. We have to become our teachers' main channel for support. Now, in this shift in language teacher supervision, throughout this course, we will be addressing the prerequisites for a language teacher supervisor. If you are a supervisor, you must have certain skills. There must be some requirements for you to be able to exercise the profession of language teacher supervision. We will also be addressing and working on the functions. What are the functions that a language teacher supervisor is supposed to play? The technical tasks are also important. What are the technicalities of the job that we are supposed to do? What are the tasks that we are going to do and how? And unifying the prerequisites of the function and the technical tasks, then we will be able to create better learning outcomes. This is what is stated in this chart. In this course, we will be working on the knowledge that you require to do your job properly, the interpersonal skills required to be an effective language teacher supervisor, and of course, the technical skills. This is just not knowledge. This is basically the knowledge, the conceptual knowledge, the procedural knowledge, and the attitudinal knowledge that a competency-based approach requires in modern education. A good language teacher supervisor has the knowledge, but he or she also has the interpersonal skills, and of course, the technical skills to do their job, and the function basically of supervision as developmental. Again, we should be able to provide direct assistance as part of our technical tasks, group development, professional development, curriculum development, as well as action research. There are important cultural tasks that we need to learn to exercise in Dominican public schools, such as facilitating change in our teachers and schools, addressing our teachers' diversity, and building a professional community. If we do this right, we will have improved student learning in schools as a community and individually for teachers. In general, this is the vision of a shift in language teacher supervision in Dominican public schools that we will be working on throughout this course. Now, before I pass the baton to Dr. Laura Baecher, I would like to just inform you of the priorities for supervising schools for this week. Basically, since we're just getting to class today, actually classes started yesterday, and today teachers are all back to school, supervisors are meant to be visiting schools and making sure students and teachers have received their books. I would like supervisors to visit schools and make sure teachers have received their digital teacher's manual and the codes for their students' digital books. We have sent all the participating teachers and schools their students' digital books. And a couple of months ago, since early December, we have sent teachers their teacher's manual. But we need you to go to schools this week and make sure that teachers have their teacher's manual, their digital version, because they will be getting their paper version next week. And we need to make sure that they have also received their codes. We also need to make sure that school directors support English teachers and the installation of the app in students' laptops, tablets, and cell phones. So we would like to ask all the supervisors throughout the country to visit the schools where the program is being implemented and make sure the school directors support English teachers and the installation of the app in students' laptops, tablets, and cell phones. Finally, supervisors are meant to help teachers this week in distributing the digital books, their codes, and getting their students to download their books. The priorities for this week are basically making sure that teachers have their teaching materials, the digital versions, and that the students get the app, download them, and then install their digital books. So some teachers, some supervisors asked me about this, and that is why I have just told you that we need to make this possible this week. Please dedicate the rest of the week to visiting schools and supporting teachers installing the app in students' laptops, tablets, and cell phones, and getting the books for their students. So basically, this is my part for today, and I would like now to ask Dr. Laura Baecher to go ahead and start her class. If you have questions, I will be addressing your questions at the end of Dr. Baecher's presentation. Go ahead, Laura.
Okay, well, welcome everyone. It's very exciting to see you here. Some of you I was able to meet just a few days ago. And some of you have your cameras on, so I know you by your face. Of course, Joanne, I see Roberto, Kiriko, Maria. Francie looks familiar to me too. Let's see. Alan, a lot of people that I've gotten to meet. It's wonderful to see you again. And a lot of familiar names. So what I'd like you to do, and I see Frankellis has a beautiful little girl there who's going to learn to supervise with us, which is awesome. And if you could find your chat on the toolbar and just open the chat so you have it there. And if you're using a phone, I know you have to go back and forth, but that way we can communicate with you throughout this session. Okay, so I want to thank Professor Valdez for the opportunity to be able to learn with you and work with you. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to just lift our arms up really high. Can we do that? And we're going to just give a little bachata right here. Just do a little stretching. Oh gosh, it's been a long day, right? A really long day. And what we're going to do is we're going to reach our hands out so we see our hands and just feel the energy from each other. We're here for each other. Even if we don't see you, we know you're there, okay? So you're here. Give yourself some applause. Woo! We're ready to go. Little shoulders. Okay, I won't make you get up, but maybe next time I'll do that to you. So we are on session 1. Believe it or not, Professor Valdez has me giving you 20 sessions. So you're probably going to be really sick of me, really sick of me by maybe session 5, but we're going to do this. We have a lot we can learn from each other. So we are on session 1 today, getting started. So I want to start our course, our whole program, with some agreements that I'd like to make with you as we learn together. First is that we are all different. We are all unique. Each one of you has a surprise or something to give to other people. So please share your unique ideas, and we want to really hear different perspectives. We don't have to agree on everything. We can see things differently, and we're going to push each other to learn. We also have a lot in common. You know, we all love education. We love bringing English into the schools, and we are ready to give all we can. We're here to learn together. We're also collaborators. We bring our energy to each other. It's not just Professor Valdez or me, Laura, who is giving energy. You each are so important. Every one of you is important for this program. So I see a lot of you have your cameras on, which is great because that helps us get energy. I know sometimes you have to turn your camera off. That's totally fine. You know, you're folding your laundry, you're getting something to eat. That's totally fine. You know, just don't drink too many, you know, cervezas while we're here. You know, put the cerveza on the side so we don't see it. But if you are comfortable, it's great to have your camera on because we just feel more connected this way. I really believe each of us as educators is intellectual, is creative, and that it's not just putting our minds to work, but also our hearts in the work. And this is going to give us all more than what we had before we started. So I'm hoping that we continue to believe in each other. A few basics of working with Zoom. I know some of you are so experienced with Zoom. Some of you maybe not as comfortable. And I want everyone to feel comfortable with your Zoom tools. Okay? So first thing I want you to do, open your chat and post your favorite word in English. No problem, Clara Diaz Figueroa de Brito, that you don't have a camera. Thanks for saying that. You have a beautiful picture though there, so I can see that. So put a word you like, an English word, into the chat. And then we're going to know we all are working well with chat. It's going to give me a chance to see your favorite word. It's also telling me you know how to work with your chat. Okay. Encourage. I like that. Sandwich. Raphael. Awesome. A lot of love. Future. Coffee. Well done. Okay, no problem, Alan. Keep your video off. No worries. You can always just put a picture and we can look at you. Faith. Endless. Awesome. Oh, I love it. This is a word I like. Nuance. I like that word. You know, it just shows that things are always a little more complicated than we think. Peace. Wonderful. Okay. So the chat, make sure that you use the chat. And what I call, you know, in American football, we have like the cheerleader, like go team, cheerleader. So I call this a chat cheerleader. I want you to be chat cheerleader. If you hear something that somebody says, Evelina says something you like, say, Evelina, I like that. Put it in the chat. Maria says something, good idea, Maria. I agree with you. This gives us energy actually, because it can be very quiet, but this gives us a chance to sort of talk to each other while the session is going on. Wonderful. Amazing. Okay. Now, in Zoom, if you go to your picture and you go to the top of your picture, there are three little dots there. And what you can do is you can change your name. You can say rename. So if your name is not your first and last name, then if you would change that on your own picture tile. So I'm going to change mine for a second, and I'll just put, I'll put Senora. Okay, so I've changed my name. So you can change your name by going to those three dots, but I can see a lot of you like Roberto Santos, Maria Cristina Reyes. It's perfect. You don't need to change it. Giovanni. So if you don't have a picture, if you have your camera off and we don't see a picture, make sure to go to your Zoom profile and add a picture maybe tomorrow or something. So we can always have a picture, okay? If it's black or it's blank, it means that you haven't added a picture to your file. Okay. Next thing I want you to do is to look for in your toolbar a place to give me a reaction. Okay, so reactions. So you can do a reel, but what I want you to do is find in your toolbar, okay, and give me a thumbs up. Okay, I see Santiago, Frankelis. All right, Roberto, Evarito, Solar, Gennaro, Alan, Raquel, Matilda, Ulrich the Dragon Slayer, Maria, Dolores. Okay, Giovanni's doubling up. Okay. So you're going to more on your toolbar. You're looking for reactions and you're doing thumbs up. Thumbs up. Okay, perfect. Excellent. I just want to make sure that you know how to do that. And there's also some other icons in there, so you can always pick another one and put it there. Okay, beautiful. Excellent job. I love it. All right, so you got good control there. Okay, what I'd like you to do now is you can also raise your hand. And that is also under reactions. Very good. So you can raise your hand. And then I also want you to lower your hand. So put your hand up and then put your hand up, but not really, your icon. Excellent. So under reactions, choose raise hand, lower hand. Excellent. So we will use the raising hand when we are doing like a large, we're going to be a big group. So we don't want to just unmute and start shouting, because then we want to be able to raise hand when you have something to say. Oh, there's Juan Carlos with a little heart. Okay, so beautiful. You are excellent with this. So make sure now, please lower all the hands if you would. So we have no more hands. And I can also lower your hand for you, but that's easier. Okay, so what I want you to do in a second, now this is, see if you can follow this rule, okay? I'm going to say Santiago, okay? And when I say Santiago, you are going to open up the microphone. We're going to make Professor Valdez crazy now. We're going to open up the microphone, and I want you just to say hello, hello, 2 times, hello, hello, and then mute. Okay, so I'm going to say Santiago. We're going to say hello, hello, and then close. Are you ready? Capiche? There's going to be someone who's still saying hello, 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 hello for a while. So Professor Valdez is ready to mute everybody when that happens. But here we go. Santiago. Unmute. Unmute. You have to unmute. Everybody unmute if you can. Are you able to unmute yourself? Or it's not working?
They are.
Okay, so unmute. Let me hear your voice.
Turn on your microphones, everybody, now.
It may be that because you muted everyone earlier.
No, actually, they are allowed to unmute themselves. They are allowed. Now, do it now. Everybody.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
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 Oh, hello.
Hello.
Oh my God. Hello.
Oh,
Hello, everybody.
Hello, hello. Oh,
Hello.
hello.
How are you?
All right. Now everybody's muted again. Go ahead, Laura. Okay, everybody is not allowed to unmute themselves now. You can go ahead, Laura. They're all back to you.
Okay. Awesome. We figured this all out this summer. That was great. That was great. Isn't it amazing how voice is so important? You know, we get energy from hearing each other. So I want to make sure we have a lot of chances to do that. So, okay, for the course, I love notebooks. I love notebooks. I have a lot of notebooks. I don't know. I just love notebooks, right? I'm like a teacher like that, you know. I like my little notebooks. So beautiful, Abelina. What I want you to do is go buy yourself a nice new notebook because you're going to be using it all year almost from now until the summer. So get a nice notebook, okay, and make it special for this program, okay? Because they say that if you write physically with your pen on paper, you remember more when you do that. The action of writing helps you remember more than just watching and listening. So beautiful, Kilsong. And you look like you're even in your car with your notebook. Yano Helene. I love these names. Okay, beautiful. So make sure you use a notebook. Or if you really like to type, maybe you have an iPad or something that you keep notes, maybe even on your computer. Whatever you like, please create a space to keep your notes from each session because you're going to be doing some reflective writing. That's right. You can use Microsoft Word if you want. That's no problem. But give yourself some space to reflect. And we're going to be reflecting a little through writing. Okay. And I want you to be able to go from one screen to another. And I'm going to give you a little task. If you're on a phone, this is going to be a little too hard to do. So don't worry, you can do it another time. But if you're on a computer, what I'm going to ask you to do is go to another tab. Okay. And I'm going to give you a link in the chat right now. Okay, copy link, and I'm going to paste it here in the chat. Okay. Now, this is a link to this document. Everyone can write on this document. So please don't erase other people, okay? What you are going to do is copy my model. You're just going to click, choose a box. There's many, many boxes. Choose any box you want and say, my name is Julio Guzman. I will be supervising in region whatever, okay? We'll do the pictures later, but just perfect. So I see you typing in here. My name is Rafael Alexander Reyes. I will be supervising in region whatever. So you're going to click any box you want and just start writing. Wonderful. So we get to see everybody writing at the same time. Okay. If you are having trouble because of maybe you're on a phone, don't worry. I'm going to send all of the links to you and you can do this, tonight or tomorrow or something. Okay. But if you have a computer, click on the link, choose a box that nobody is in. Go over here. Choose something, get away from everyone. Find your own box and type in. Perfect. So here, Rafael Alexander Reyes has finished his. And when you're ready, if you want to, Rafael, if you do have a picture on your file, all you have to do is drag a picture to the box, to the cell, and it will fit the right size. Jose Noboa Marrero, did you have a question that you needed to ask now? Or you just still have your hand up? Okay.
Not for now. It was a mistake.
Oh, no problem. So just go to your toolbar and just lower hand. And I can also do that for you. Okay, perfect. Wonderful. Look at this, Carlos Martinez. Beautiful. So this is great because we are going to use this document every week. Every week, we will use the same document. I'm calling it participant notes, and we're going to keep adding and adding. We're going to have a book by the end of this time. Okay, wonderful. This is wonderful. So we see your beautiful faces coming in and what region you work in. And don't worry, you can add a picture later. You're just going to double click in the box. When you double click, it will open it for you, Matilda. Excellent, excellent. Okay, I'm just going to give people another moment to fill out their part of the chart. Excellent. So you see, this is also a great tool with students. If your teachers are working online, this is a way they can monitor student writing all together using a document. As a teacher, I can see exactly what people are doing. I can see even mistakes. I could go in, I could ask a question. So this is nice, actually. When I'm in a classroom, I have to walk around and look at everybody's table. So just be careful. Don't go in the same cell as someone else, okay? You're going to want to use always a separate, move this one. I don't know who this is, but I'm going to just move this here. Wonderful. There's Eric. I didn't realize Eric was here. Okay. There's Clara. Beautiful. This is great. So all you need to do is just go into a cell. Okay. So you got the idea, right? Pretty much. Joanne, how about you? Did you get yours in there? Okay. I know some of you will take a little bit longer. So here, this person is typing up here, right? So I'm going to take that out and I'm going to put it into a cell. Okay. And I'm going to make that a lot smaller. Okay. So it's going to take people a little, getting comfortable with the technology, but part of your learning is learning these tools that your teachers are using. So here you see people are typing, and you want to keep the typing down in here in one of these boxes. Okay, so you're going to double click. All right. I know this, for some of you, you're finished, you're great. Oh, look, Alexander Reyes, that's a little guy there. And some of you are going to need a little help. Okay, if you aren't able to double click or type in here, we will figure it out and we'll help you out. Okay, maybe towards the end of our session tonight. Okay, so I'm going to come back over here, and I'm going to kind of review a little bit about this program. And there's a lot of language here. So if you need me to slow down or repeat, or you have a question, just put in the chat, you know, please slow down, or I don't understand. It's no problem, because I'm going to try not to use any Spanish in our sessions, just to give you more opportunity to listen to the academic English and to practice it. Now, when you go into a breakout room, you might use Spanish and English in your conversations, but I will try to use English just as a support for your own growth. If you can't write anything there because you were on a phone or something like that, you'll do it sometime this week. It's no problem, okay? No problem at all. You'll have a chance to do it on a computer later. Okay. So as an overview, the idea for this course is that we're giving you not just intensive, but a long-term program. It's not just a workshop. So you come, you see, and then goodbye. It's actually something that's going to be sustained for a while, okay? So over time, we're going to be looking at a lot of the research and understanding we have about effective supervision, and we're going to apply it to your schools. Remember, I'm not in your schools. I don't know your schools. You know the schools. You're the experts. And with Professor Valdez on Mondays, you'll be able to talk more specifically about things that are going on in your school. For people who are working in INAFOCAM, maybe you've never had the opportunity to talk to supervisors from other regions. So talking to each other is going to help you also learn more effective ways to work. Let's just take a time out. Stop worrying about that sheet now, okay? Can we do that? Take a deep breath. Everything's okay. We'll help you fill out the sheet, okay? But it's going to be important that you have some computer access for the course, because it's going to be challenging for you to write, to view video, to look at different documents from a phone. So that's going to be a challenge. All right. So we're going to try to help you navigate that, but let's try to put that to the side. Okay. And let's focus a little now. We can fill out the chart later. Okay. We're going to try to give you a lot of ideas, but also a chance to really think about them and apply them. So we have 20 sessions, like I said, and each one we're going to be focusing on some different part of being a supervisor or technical, some aspect that is probably familiar, but we're going to try to add some new ideas. And we're going to bring a case to analyze or to look at. I'm going to be asking you for help with materials. For example, a teacher's lesson plan, or a video of a teacher that you're observing, or photographs of a school classroom, or pictures of student work. I'm going to be asking you for different artifacts or materials, objects. So those are going to become part of our cases, because we don't want to just talk about things in the air. We want to have things to look at so we can really analyze those together. So today is session 1. We're just getting started. Don't worry at all about the computer or things. We're going to get it will get smoother and smoother for us. Next week on session 2, we're going to be talking about the different roles that supervisors play. Session 3 talks more about coaching approaches within supervision. Session 4, we're going to focus on how teachers and as adult learners are going to be learning through supervision. On session 5, we'll be talking about us as supervisors, our learning, things that we need to improve in, that we don't see maybe. Session 6, we're going to start to look at observing descriptively. We're going to have to unlearn a lot of practices we already have. Session 7, we're going to focus in on lesson planning, how we respond to a teacher's lesson plan. Session 8, we're going to look at what we notice when we observe a class. Session 9, we're looking at after the class, the conversation we have. What are we going to be looking for in those post-observation conversations? In session 10, we're going to be looking at evaluation with rubrics, etc. Session 11, we're going to be looking at how we grow in our own learning along with our teacher. Session 12, we'll be talking about listening well. How do we become better listeners for our teachers? Session 13, we're going to talk about questioning, how we speak to our teachers to get them thinking more critically about their teaching practice. In session 14, we are looking at all the things we might do in a pre-observation. Session 15 is what we're doing during the observation. 16, we're looking again at that post-observation. Then we're looking at some specific types of situations. For example, when you supervise in a school that is very poorly run or low resourced, how do you support a teacher in that context? How do you work in session 18 with beginning teachers versus experienced teachers? How do you work with teachers when they teach online or remotely versus maybe also you supervising remotely? How is it different? And finally, we'll be looking back at your journey over these many weeks and seeing how your skills have developed and changed. Okay, so that's a lot, right? That's a lot of different sessions. How are you feeling about all of that? Looking at all of those different, all those 20 modules coming up. Do you feel kind of overwhelmed by that? Or put in the chat, what are you thinking right now looking at all of these topics? Any of these topics jumping out at you? Any of them interesting to you? Any thoughts or feelings right now looking at all of the sessions that we have lined up for you? I'm going to give you a moment to post your thought in the chat because I'm not seeing my chat cheerleaders. I'm not seeing any reaction. I'm going to see your reactions. Okay, step by step we'll make it. You're right. It takes a little bit of time before we get there. The reflection is interesting to you. Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you. So here, some of these topics you're saying, oh, these are things that I've thought about and I like to talk about. And you as supervisors, you never get to talk about this work. You go and you do the work. You go to a teacher, you go to another teacher, but it's very isolated, So let's say that Mariela is going to visit a teacher. Maybe she has a really good experience that day with this teacher, but who is she going to talk to about this? Maybe her family, she'll tell them, but they don't know what she's talking about. So it's nice to have a chance to take this work out of isolation and give us a chance to share, because supervision is something that happens one-on-one with a teacher, and it's hard for us to see each other doing it or talk about it. Okay, wonderful. I'm glad to see. Thank you for those wonderful reactions. So we are going to do a breakout room activity now, okay? So I want to talk a little bit about breakout rooms. When you go in a breakout room and nobody says anything, it's terrible, okay? So what I want us to do is when we go into breakout rooms during our classes, I want everybody to turn on their microphone, say hello. My name is Delio. My name is Eddie. How are you? And get started. Share. If you're someone who is usually quiet, make sure you try to say your idea. If you are someone who always is talking the whole time and there's no time left, try to get other people to talk, okay? And what I'm going to ask you to talk about is this question that's in the chat. As supervisors, what do you think your role is in this big project of bringing English learning to Dominican students? What role do you believe supervisors have to impact English learning among the students, right? Okay. And you know what? I'm going to ask Juan Carlos, will you put that question into the chat? Will you just copy it over for me or type it over while I get my breakout rooms ready? And what I'm going to do, thank you. I'm going to make just automatic breakout rooms, and I'm going to try to make them a little bit on the small side. Okay. You should have 4 people or so in your breakout room in a minute. Now, when I say go, you're going to see join breakout room. You must click right away and you're going to go into your breakout room. You're going to be in the breakout room not very long, about 7 minutes. Okay, so each person should say maybe 1 or 2 minutes and let everybody say hello and some of the ideas. Okay, perfect. So just want to make sure the question goes into the chat before we go off. All right, so we're going to the breakout room. You're going to say hello, how are you? And then you're going to talk about the role of supervisors in English learning among students, okay? And then I'm going to say 1 minute left and bring you back, okay? Good, so we're thumbs up, we're ready to go? All right, okay. What is the role of supervisors? Exactly. I want you to think about what role you have in English learning. How are you going to see the English learning of the students through what you do? Here we go. Opening the rooms. We'll see you in a few minutes. Join your rooms. Go. All right. I know there's always a couple of people who have a little trouble joining. Hopefully everyone will be okay today. Okay, so we have a lot of people who have not joined the breakout room. So we need you to let us know if you can, if you're having trouble. There's a lot of you still here. You need to join breakout room. Go to breakout room in your toolbar and click breakout rooms, join, and let's see what we can do to help you out. So you just need to click join. You need to, so I see a few people here.
Let's finish the names, Laura.
I'm sorry?
In room number 1, Eli Diaz, Rocio de Jesus Sanchez, Yocali de Jesus. I mean, we have Orelvi that hasn't joined, Orelvi Felix, room number 1. Sidenia, please, room number 1. In room number 2, everybody's in already. Room number 3, De La Rosa Reyes, please join room number 3. Luis Fernando Diaz, join, please, room number 3. In room number 4, Harling Arias, please join room number 4. Then we have Adalgisa Carrera, room number 6. Please join room number 6. Room number 7, Maria Rondon, please join room number 7. Let's see who else. Well, great. Maria Minaya, you need to join room number 14, please. Alexandra Hernandez, join room number 15. Felix Garcia, please join room number 17. Genaro Castro, please join room number 18. Lico Felix and Salustiana Suardi, room number 19, please. All right, that's it. We only have 9 left here. Laura.
All right, we have a good start. Felix, Gennaro, Salustiana, Maria Minaya, Harling, and De La Rosa Reyes. Have you gone off to eat dinner? Where are you? Come back.
Well, if you cannot join the room, let's talk about it here. For those who are still here, let's see. We have De La Rosa, Harling, Genaro, Salustiana. Can you hear me? Can you turn on your microphones, please? Go ahead. Let's discuss it here. What is the role of supervisors in bringing English language learning to Dominican public school students? Any volunteer? Those who are still present here.
I think they are eating some sancocho or something right about now.
Here. Zacarias, can you hear me? Maria Minaya, Harling, Genaro, Salustiana, Felix Garcia. Semora, please turn on your microphones.
We got a good amount of Giselle. I'll move to let's see.
Okay, they seem to be locked in, but they're not.
Yeah, they are
Having dinner. That's it.
Yeah, having some sancocho over there or whatever.
Oh God. Salustiana, please turn on your microphone. She's raised. Go ahead. Salustiana, what is the role of supervisors in bringing English language learning to Dominican public school students, in your opinion? Zacarias, turn on your mic. You can turn it on. It's allowed now. I'm going to ask you all to unmute. Okay, now. I just sent you a message. I asked you all to unmute. Try now.
Sorry, teacher.
Yeah, it's okay. Salustiana, what is your opinion?
Okay, about the role.
Yeah, the role of supervisors.
Yes, the main important thing that all the time to be pay attention, sorry, to the only activity and strategy that the teacher use in the classroom, the most important things, right?
That's pretty good. Anybody else, please go ahead. You can unmute now. Zacarias, are you there? Senora
Yes,
Laura?
I'm here. Now you can hear me.
Yes, Zacarias, what's your opinion? What do you think is the role of supervisors in bringing English language learning to Dominican public school students?
Well, I already wrote my opinion on the chat.
Go ahead, tell us.
To help the teachers to be more effectively in the English teacher and learning process, something like that.
Very well. Thank you, Zacarias. Now we have Carlin, Genaro, Felix Garcia, Maria Minaya. Please turn on your mics. Again, the question is, what do you think is the role of supervisors in bringing English language learning to Dominican public school students? Go ahead. Your personal opinion, your professional opinion, if you may. All right. Would anybody else like to give their opinion, please?
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I consider, in my personal opinion, that the most important thing is to provide the information to the teachers in the classroom that is going to make to be better the process of class.
What is your name, please?
My name is Francisco Corniel from San Francisco de Macorís.
Okay, that's district number?
Number 6.
Okay, very well. So from San Francisco. And do you think it's possible to do that in Dominican public schools? That is the role. You just described the role. Now, is it possible to do that?
Of course, yeah. I consider that the most important thing is to have the intention to provide those information and to try to better off our education.
In your experience, what are the problems in bringing English language learning to Dominican public school students? As a supervisor, what do you think are the issues, the obstacles, the problems? What do you think is the main issue now from a supervisor standpoint?
I understand that the problem is the way that the teachers assume or conduct the process of class in the classroom.
And what do you think that is?
Is to assume the compromise, personal compromise.
Okay, so you think it's about professional commitment, basically?
Yes.
Very well. Thank you.
Not at all.
Okay. Please, this is an open conversation.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. We have a few people, not everyone is back yet. We're kind of in the process of people returning, but what would be great is if you want to raise a hand, use your hand raise feature. If you would like to share something, Professor Valdez was just facilitating here in the main room some people who weren't able to join their breakout room. So remember to Ana Florian, put on your mute. We're going to mute everybody, unfortunately. That's going to be an ongoing challenge. Is we want to share our voice, but we have to be very mindful about our video and our audio, because our video would be folding our underwear in front of everybody. That happened tonight, and I had to turn off someone's camera, or maybe we're talking and something's going on, and we want you to have your privacy, So just be aware. It's hard with 80 people. We can't see all of the pictures and watch. So please raise your hand, and I'm going to push you a little bit, maybe when you give an answer. So it's not that there's a wrong answer or a right answer, but I just want you to think a lot about this very important question. And so we're going back to our question. What role does the supervisor have in impacting student English language learning. Okay, so I'm going to start with Alberto Martinez. If you want to unmute and give us all some of your thoughts. Oh, and we may have to, yeah, perfect. Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, perfect, Alberto. Welcome.
All right. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yes.
Right. I just met a technic over there whose name is Luis. He's from Atomayo. It was a nice conversation that we had.
Great.
And well, I shared with him that one of the main roles of a supervisor is to support teachers, right? According to the needs that they might have. Maybe we can support them on planning if they have problems with the lesson plans. Even if they have problems with the language as well, we can look for ways to teach them to get better. And also, I told him that sometimes we as supervisors, we become a problem because we believe that we go to schools to, of course, that your job is to see what's working and what's not working. But in the last years, there is a bad habit from supervisors that they go to schools to see what is wrong, address that in the correct way with teachers. That's right. Some teachers even deny to receive supervisors when they go to their schools. So basically, we need to know that our role is to collaborate with teachers to help them overcome weaknesses that they might have. And of course, if we help them, then students are going to get better. I mean, what I mean is that the teaching that they're going to receive is going to be better. They will have more quality.
Alberto, really great. And I love in the chat, we're getting people reacting. So stay alive in the chat, you know,
Right.
Put a reaction. Alexis is very, very good. So you said a couple of things. Alberto talked about the English language skills of the teacher. Actually, you can directly support as you interact with them. You talked about the teacher's planning abilities. And you also brought up how you support improvement. And if you come in looking for what's wrong, it's not going to motivate someone to improve. And you even said they reject your visit. That's the ultimate barrier. It blocks you completely from supporting the learning of the children if you can't even access the teacher. So thank you so much, Alberto. I'm going to go now to Dolores Canalda. Tell us what you think.
Thanks, Laura. I think that best of all, the supervisors are the person that can motivate or have to motivate the teachers to do their best with their students and to all the time to be improving and trying to do new things, because sometimes we think that we are not able to do new things like technology. Most of the teachers have trouble with the technology, and they are not considering that they every day we can learn something new. Mm-hmm. And also it is important to give support to them, but not judging them. Mm-hmm. Instead, we have to explain and to watch first what they do, and then after they finish the class, we have a moment to share with them the best they have done, and also to give suggestions to have a better results in their classes. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you. Thanks, Dolores. Nice to see you again. So she talked about the motivation that teachers need to feel that they can continue to learn. She talked about technology, so actual skills that you can help them develop. She talked about watching, being able to watch what they do. If, as a supervisor, you can see what is going on that is supporting the learning, you can bring attention to it. So if you don't see it, it's hard to support your teacher in seeing it. Okay, wonderful. And remember, a lot of you are not speaking, but you're like, ooh, thinking or reacting. Make sure to use that chat and grab those thoughts too. So Dilio, how about you? Dilio Savignon.
Well, thanks for the chance to participate in this chat. Okay.
Nice to see
Well,
you.
I think the role of us as teachers, as supervisors is guiding, helping teachers to get better and better each day in anything they need us. Like the guy mentioned before, when they need planning and they are not well prepared doing it, we can help them do it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Because it depends, the class depends on it. And that's what I think.
Excellent.
Well, the thing is that we are guides.
Mm-hmm. Guide on the side, right? The guide on the side. So you talked about how well prepared the teacher is. The class depends on it, you said. So if you walk in, and this relates to what Professor Valdez said, your job is this week, is to go and see, does the teacher have the materials? Do they have the books? Do they have what they need to do? If they don't even have any resources or materials, that is a really important role that you can play right there to directly support the learners. Wonderful. How about, let me go to Maria Cristina Reyes.
Okay, I think as the supervisor, we have to help teachers to make a reflection over his practice, and then they will be better as a teacher.
Okay, so you're talking about the supervisor plays an important role in helping teachers have an opportunity to reflect on their practice. And through reflection, they will be able to improve the teaching, which impacts the learning. Wonderful. Joan, what do you think? Make a connection between supervision and the student learning.
Well, thank you again for the opportunity. Well, my colleagues have said it. It all starts with motivation. The supervisor himself gotta be motivated so that he can motivate the teachers. You see, to motivate the students, motivate the teachers to learn and try to be better so that can impact positively students' learning. Our role is to support, help.
Yeah. So that motivation of the teacher is going to create the energy for the English learning in the classroom, right? If the teacher comes in and is not enthusiastic about the teaching and trying new things in their teaching, they're just going to get flat, and they won't necessarily improve. So supervisors can play an important role there. I know I just want to take maybe one more, but it doesn't mean I don't want to hear everyone's ideas. It's just we're going to have a lot of time, hopefully, to talk with each other over time. I'm just going to end up, let's see, with how about Felix Garcia? Felix Garcia, you want to unmute and tell us what you think or your group thought. Just make sure you can unmute. Felix, are you able to unmute yourself? There you go. Good, go ahead.
All right, is my turn?
Yes, it's your turn. You're the last one for the night on this.
Yes, I agree with Mr. Joan Cruz, but I think that the role of supervisors involve a series of works in order to include the whole process that he has to observe during the process. So it must be good motivator because, as Joan Cruz said, teacher have to be motivated first. He has to be a good mediator because, most of the time we have difficult situations that involve the whole content where a teacher is taking the process. A good collaborator, because we have to collaborate all the time with the teachers in all the situations that he needs to be heard. That's right. I think that a good encourager, because we have to encourage teachers to do the job and make them possible that they can do the job.
They can do the job.
The students. Good confidence, because the things that you speak with one to another, from teacher to supervisor, must be into confidence communications in order to get a good process. A good communicator, because between teachers and supervisors must be that a reflective communicator with one and other. It could be effective communications, because for the well of the process, it must be a good communication from one to other, and it becomes a wide, confidence, teacher in that way. They don't see you as a boss. They see you as a helper for the process. As Joan Cruz said, I agree with him, and thank you very much for.
Thank you. Thanks for all of your ideas. I really like the roles, how you describe the motivator, the mediator, the communicator, the collaborator. So thank you so much. I think that what's going to be interesting as we go into next week is to think about, okay, we share these beliefs about the approach that the supervisor might take, but how do we know English learning is happening when we go to observe a lesson? What are we actually looking for or looking at? Because I can't motivate you or mediate your learning if I don't even know what the goal is. So part of this big project of bringing in this new curriculum, there's going to be a lot of learning here. What are we trying to change? What's typical in an English language lesson in a public school in the Dominican Republic? How much English is actually being taught or learned? How do we change that? How do we change our vision or our expectations? So we're going to be talking about that a lot. But what I would like to do in our last minute here is I'm going to ask you to go to this link. If you have a phone, you can use the QR code. If you don't, if you don't, I'm going to put the link in the chat. And let's see, I got this link, copy. And I'm going to pop in the chat, paste. Okay, so this should bring you to a form. It's going to look like this. It's only going to take you about 10 minutes. So in these last 10 minutes, if you would please complete this form for me, I would really appreciate it. For me and Professor Valdez, it's very short, but this will be very helpful to get a little idea of where you are right now. If you can complete that questionnaire, we're going to give you about 10 minutes or so to do that, if that's okay. And next week. I know Professor Valdez will be talking to you in a minute, but he'll see you Monday. I will see you next Wednesday, which is February 2nd, Groundhog Day. So be ready to talk about Groundhog Day. Your homework, finish this questionnaire, update Zoom if you need to, make sure that you have your name, your photo in Zoom. And if you need to go back to this document to fix it up, go back and fix that document as well. Okay, so I'm going to sign off for my part now and turn it back over to Professor Valdez as you take a next 10 minutes or so just to complete this questionnaire. And I thank you so much for getting our thoughts going, getting ourselves comfortable here together. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care, everybody.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
I've already sent the form.
Have a wonderful
day.
Have a nice evening.
Yeah.
Now, everybody, please stay in line. Stay online with us here. I've already sent the form to all the supervisors groups. Check the National Supervisors Group, and I've already sent this same form, the form that's online, the one you see on your screen. It is already on the WhatsApp groups for all the supervisors. You can look for it in the National Teacher Supervisors Group, and you can also look for it in the group, in the one in your region. Okay? So before, yes, go ahead.
Excuse me, Mr. Valdez. I am not in that group.
Yes, you can text me at the end of class and I can add you to the groups.
Okay,
keep in mind that all the supervisors or the language teacher supervisors in the country are part of the National Teacher Supervisors Group. If you are not in that group, you can always text me after class and I'll include you. So before we conclude, I would like to reiterate what I explained earlier for this week. Our role for this week is basically visiting schools and making sure teachers have received their digital teachers manual codes for their students' theater books as well. Making sure school directors support English teachers and the installation of the app in students' laptops, tablets, and cell phones, and helping teachers in distributing the digital books codes and getting their students to download their books. Something else I would like to express is that this program cannot be done on a cell phone. You cannot take this class on a cell phone, please. I made it very clear in the groups, and I would appreciate your help in connecting to this program on your laptop. So for next Monday, please try to get a laptop if you don't have one, because it is very hard to do the activities we have to on a cell phone, such as the breakout rooms. In general, if you have any questions or more, you can always post them on the teacher supervisors groups, or you can text us on WhatsApp as well. I expect to see you all again on Monday, and please complete the form that Dr. Baecher just showed you, because again, it is on the WhatsApp groups. If you have any doubts or any questions, again, you can always call or text us as professional training systems. Thank you all for participating.